Hello dear learners, welcome to the channel Bean Pipe School, and here today I am going to tell you about buccal cavity. Now in the previous video I discussed about the digestive system. Now in the first part of the digestive system, the human digestive system consists of the alimentary canal, and it also consists of associated digestive glands. Now why it is called as alimentary canal or elementary canal? This word element actually means nourish. That means something which is feeding or nourishing. So this canal is called as alimentary canal. Now it is nothing but a continuous digestive tube which begins from mouth and ends in the anus. Now this digestive continuous tube is 8 to 10 meters long. The anterior end of the tube is the mouth part and the posterior end is the anus. The whole of this canal performs the process of digestion. That is the function of breaking down the food into smaller particles or smaller substances, and it is making it absorbable into the body system. What happens first in the mouth, or what is actually why we call it as a buccal cavity? Now this whole region of the buccal cavity, the mouth part, it's just a cavity. It's the entry point for the food. Now it is bounded by two lips. Here you can see this is the upper lip and the lower lip. Now this mouth cavity, as you can see, is divided into two sections. Now when you divide it, you would find when you put your tongue around your outer part of the teeth setting, you would find a channel or a canal shaped passage. That part is called as the vestibule. And next we have the part which is inside the teeth, that is the oral cavity proper. This part, the inner part, but the outer part is called as the vestibule. Now the mouth cavity, as I was telling you, consists of two parts. One is the vestibule, another one is the oral cavity proper. So this part section is called as the oral cavity, and here you can see this region is the tongue region, and this part is the root of the tongue. Now in the upper part, here we have two sections. If you can feel move your tongue around in the upper part, this hard part that you can feel at the top of your jaw is the hard palate. This part is called as the hard palate. This is the hard palate, and the part at the back is the soft palate. This palate divides the mouth from the nose section. So this is our nasal cavity, and this part is the buccal cavity. Okay, so two sections are getting divided by this palatal region. This is the hard and the soft palate. Okay, now the vestibule. Talking about the vestibule, it is as I said, it is the space between the lips and the cheek. It leads to next part, that is the oral cavity proper. So here what happens in oral cavity proper, it is bounded by lips in the anterior part. This is bounded by the lips, and in the posterior part there is the fauces. Okay, and laterally, the sidewise, we have the cheeks. They bound the whole section. Like front there is the lips, back there are fauces, and here at the side or laterally it is bounded by the cheeks. Main function of the mouth, you can say, or the lips and the cheek is it helps in mastication of the food. Now mastication means it is the process of chewing the food, that I will be telling you. And next function is the speech. Now without lips it becomes very difficult to speak or modulate the words out. Okay, the sound or the air control is also difficult. So here two main functions of lips and the cheek, and also it helps in holding the food in place in between the teeth. Okay, now in oral cavity proper, this mouth as we discussed is bounded by lips, fosses and cheek laterally, and the upper jaw of the in the mouth is fixed, or you can say it is not moving. It forms as the roof of the mouth cavity, and it consists of hard palate. The teeth and the gum is also present there, and the lower jaw is the movable one. Lower jaw is movable and it contains teeth, tongue, gum. Now let's talk about the main part of the buccal cavity. The main part of the buccal cavity consists of palate and the tongue. Okay, now the palate, as I said a few minutes before, that these are the hard parts as well as the soft section here. This is the hard palate and the soft palate. Now the buccal cavity as the nasal cavity are separated by this section of the palate. Okay, so we can say that palates are the roof of the oral cavity. So these are the roof of the oral cavity. So we have the hard palate here and the soft palate. The anterior part is a bony part and the posterior part is a soft part and cartilaginous one. The hard part actually supports the bone. There is mucous membrane, okay, and it also bears some ridges here. If you feel your tongue at the upper jaw, you will find ridges. Now in carnivores the ridges are more. Now these are called as the rug. Now these rugs, what is the purpose of it? It keeps the food in place during mastication. When we are chewing the food, it makes the food to stay there at that place. That's why the design is like that. Now the smooth surface of the soft palate is it's due to the function of swallowing. It will aid in swallowing the food. Smoother is the surface, the food becomes since it is getting mixed with the saliva while chewing, so the food becomes softer and it can slip down, right? So swallowing becomes easy in this process. Now the posterior end is a soft palate and it hangs down within a small flap like structure. Here we have a small flap like structure. This one is called as the uvula. Now the purpose of uvula is to prevent the food from passing into the nasal cavity by closing the nair internally. As the food is slipping down, this uvula is pressed and made to move up so that it closes the nasal section. So this is an internal mechanism, and that's why it's been told that we should not talk while taking food. It might happen that it might enter into the trachea or the windpipe. Okay, so for that is one. And this uvula, no doubt, it solves one of its purpose of preventing the food from entry into the nasal cavity. So this is what is the uvula's purpose. And mastication, I have already said, the process of chewing the food. Okay, the process of chewing the food is mastication. Okay, and the function of a uvula is to prevent the food from passing into the nasal cavity by closing the nairs internally. The passages are getting closed here. So this is what was the part of all about the palate. Now next let us talk about the tongue. Now this tongue is a large muscular organ and it occupies most part of the our cavity, oral cavity. Now the tongue is a fleshy, or you can say a muscular section, triangular shape, mobile organ, because it moves. Okay, at the anterior end is free, whereas the posterior end is fixed. Okay, so here we can say this part is free part of the tongue and the back part is a fixed part. Now the tongue, there is a mucus secretion, mucous membrane present on the surface, and it secretes mucus, and that's why the tongue remains moist most of the time. One would say that the mucus helps in keeping the tongue moist. But what happens, what makes it special is there are folds in the tongue. Now these folds in the tongue are actually due to, they are called as frenulum linguae, and the intrinsic muscles in the tongue are responsible for changing the shape of the tongue. That means we can flatten the tongue sometimes, and sometimes we can elevate the tongue, like during swallowing, drinking. The position of the tongue doesn't remain same always. You can observe it yourself, like while chewing the food. Now papillae helps in gripping and moving the food around the mouth. Okay, apart from the papillae, we have the taste buds. These regions are the taste buds. Now the taste buds are hidden around these papillae and they produce the sense of taste. Like we can detect the type of chemicals found in the food, we can detect the different flavors of the food, here in the tip of the tongue, it is sweet. Okay, on the sides we have salt and sour, salty. Okay, salty and sour. But here they tell that generally it is sweet, sour, and at the back portion it is the bitter portion can be detected. It is being told that these are particularly the places where we can detect it, but it doesn't mean that if you put salt here you cannot detect. It's not like that. Most of the flavors are located in different parts and we can detect. Okay, but specifically these are the locations where we majorly taste the flavor here in these locations. Okay. Let us discuss about the different functions of the tongue. Number one, if we discuss that the function of the tongue acts as a taste receptor. Now why it is called as gustatoriceptors? Because they are dealing with the taste, because they have these taste buds within them. Now they help in mixing the food with the saliva. Second function. Third function is it helps in articulation of the speech. Imagine a mouth or the cavity without a tongue. It becomes very difficult to speak. Rather, a person cannot speak at all without tongue, isn't it? So tongue helps in articulation. Fourth point, it helps in oral cleansing of the mouth. We do it. We clean our tongue regularly in the morning. So this is one purpose. It helps in oral cleansing. It holds the food in the place during mastication. While chewing the food is made to stay at one point. It tells that, yeah, don't move. Now the food is getting simplified. That is it. Next, and the last one, it helps the food to squeeze into the esophagus. Or you can say, first it passes into the pharynx region, the oropharynx. So it helps to push the food into the oropharynx. You all can make a note of the part that we have studied today and give a revision over it, and see you in the next part discussing about the buccal cavity section 2.